Counteracting the box. Los box. Halloween is a week away. Have you played any spooky games? Are you going to talk about some spooky games?
No, I've been bad this year. I
always talk about this, and I feel like you guys do.
I usually do, but I just haven't. I procrastinated. I hadn't even put Halloween up until this Monday.
Have you seen all the decorations on clearance? Like, I know you like decorating and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some of them on clearance.
There's a real cool, scary bat thing, but my spouse said it was too scary. I was like, this thing looks amazing. It's like $100 at Home Depot. I need to send you the link. It looks awesome.
I think I might try to go tomorrow morning and see if they've got anything decent. At the one down here, we went today to the one in Morrow, and they had sold pretty much all of the big stuff, and we're trying to get rid of some of the piddly things. And
you already knew about the clearance stuff.
Old Brent Lorenzen was looking at a inflatable little Bluey character for his grandkids.
I saw it at Sam's Club, or online at Sam's Club.
They had it marked down like 50%. So it was like $40, and now it's marked to $20. And then he started asking the associate if he could have it for 10. We're like, man, you're such a cheap ass.
Did they? Friend of the show, Brent. That is, we're live.
Yeah.
Do they really haggle with you like that over a clearance price?
Yes. And it was funny because
he got it for $10.
Well, we walked away, and so did he. He like veered off somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the lady came around the corner, and she's like, I know you didn't ask me about this, and then y'all just walk away, because I was walking with somebody else.
Oh shit.
And we're like, no, that's the guy that was with us. She goes, all right, well, she's like, well, it's right here. She's like, if you tell him, take it up to the counter and tell him my name, so and so said you could have us for 10. Yeah, that's fine.
No way. I've never heard of that.
We're like, holy crap.
So you can haggle for Halloween decorations.
They
who knew?
When we walked over there, they just wanted that stuff gone. They were like, yeah, by Monday we gotta change this over.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a new display, so
this is the first year I remember it being like before Halloween that all that stuff immediately clearanced.
Yeah.
This is always like, we're gonna get some decorations, we'll wait till after Halloween, and this year it's everywhere. It's clearanced everywhere immediately.
So yeah,
Amazon's got some too.
It was the end of September, or I guess by mid-September they were starting to put things up. By the first or second week in October, we started seeing Christmas stuff. There was one store, near-ish where we work, that didn't even put Halloween up. They literally went straight to Christmas.
There's no money in Halloween anymore?
I guess not at that store.
There's no money in Halloween.
Which is crazy, because I know I had previously from that store bought some decorations for Halloween. But I was so aghast at that, I almost wanted to speak to a manager. Like, hey, what the hell's up with this? Put some Halloween out, damn it.
Or you're buying the Halloween decorations and you're listening to Mariah Carey's Christmas and over the speakers and the... Yeah, we had our retail radio at one point was a lot of Cher, and then we got a lot of Britney Spears when she was of that time period. And then during Christmas, it's like, all right, we're going to get some different shit. It was Cher's Christmas and it was Britney Spears' Christmas songs. It's like,
so no break. No
damn
reprieve.
it. On repeat, because it's like they only license like 8 songs from each artist, and you just got this rotating cycle of. However, for some reason, I'm nostalgic for that, and if there was ever a Spotify playlist that's like, hey, EB Games Christmas 2004 playlist, I would probably download the hell out of that and listen to it. Those tapes are out there because they were. It was these. Was it on a CD? Well, we ended up with like EBTV that Damon Hatfield guy from IGN started off on. and they sent us like LCDs that we had up, and it would be a DVD of programming and pre-orders and stuff like that. But I think the radio was piped in. I gotta ask friend of the show Thomas about that and see what he remembers. I know he remembers the Cher. I'm gonna text him and see. Hey man, you remember the EB radio? What was the number one featured artist? This is gonna be fucking Cher.
I just remember doing merchandising for a very specific company that would go into like PetSmarts and do things like reworks and resets and like different displays and power wings and whatnot that they'd set up.
Okay.
And I remember that damn there was a cover of "You've Got a Friend in Me."
Ooh. But it's like a dog howling. Is it a dog singing that?
No, it's not a dog. It's I forget. I don't even know who it's by. But it was like a
still sounds like Randy
version,
Newman.
Like two different. No, it wasn't Randy. No, Randy sounded
Randy Newman, the Basset Hound, the Beagle.
But
calm down, Beagle, Randy Newman.
I did ask a former employee because it was songs like that, like all the time in there on a constant loop, like only 4 or 5 songs. So I asked a former employee at one point, I said, do you remember this song and like all this? And I said, well, how did you work in there without going insane? They're like, you just tuned it out after a while.
Yeah. Or it hits you like you're busy or you're selling something or you're wrapping things up or you're trying to push a warranty and then you go in the back for something and then it's like it breaks through all the chaos and you hear the music again. It's like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I was clear until I decided to take a break or come back here and pee. And then all of a sudden now this is what I hear. I could still remember going through that back door and seeing an entire shelf of the green Halo Xbox. Like that was the Christmas we sold a shit ton of those and they were stacked up, man.
Damn.
And I think there were 149 that year, maybe 129. And I would kill for one of those now. That's missing in my original Xbox collection. I feel like I need an original. I need that Halo green translucent plastic.
Yeah.
Original Xbox. I need that in my collection. They're expensive though. And I remember when they were brand new, cheap. All right. We waxed poetic about Halloween stuff. You ready to do this thing?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 371 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and Halloween decoration clearance podcast. That's right, come early, find out where to get your best Halloween decorations clearanced. Never pay full price for anything, that's my motto. Even before Halloween, you can get these items such as the scary crow bat thing I just sent Brant, which is $100 at Home Depot. But don't go get it until Brant and I go get ours, even though my spouse claims it is a very creepy, very, very creepy Halloween decoration. Chicano Azteca is in the chat. Says, what is this chat about? Video games. Welcome. Buish says Black Friday deals. Buish, you don't need Black Friday deals when the Halloween decorations are clearanced right now. You can go get them. Go get
your Halloween decorations.
Yeah, go get a 6-foot LED skeleton clearanced at Home Depot. Your local Home Depot store. Where doors go to get things done at Home Depot. I'm one of your hosts this week, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up?
This is a Richard and Brant show. We have light but exciting news this week. I would say exciting.
Yeah.
Chicano says they're drunk. What games? Chicano, I'm getting to the news. This is going to be news about the new Amazon Luna service. Are you an Amazon Prime subscriber? And what does that give you? Everything is here. This is about the Kirby Air Riders Direct, I'm assuming. It's in parentheses. Ubisoft had some layoffs. We have your first look at the Halo remake, and another GameCube classic comes to Nintendo Switch Online Plus, ? Stay tuned in the show. Find out what those news things are. Brant, what's your favorite Halloween decoration? What's the go-to must have. And I've seen some of your collection. I've seen them proudly displayed. You have a hell of a representation for Halloween stuff.
Well, I'm partial to the gravestones.
Mm-hmm.
Either buying some decent sturdy gravestones or making my own.
How do you make them? Because we've talked about doing that, and we just never seem to catch them on sale at the right time.
It's really not hard. You can use that pink like 1.5 to 2 inch insulation foam, and actually like cut and mold it to however you want it, and then you can like age it up, scuff it up. You cover it in this
rain resistant and everything. Okay, you're getting to it.
Yeah, you cover it in some stuff called Loctite. It's like this gray, like concrete paint kind of thing, and it's
I've
also
used Loctite for screws and stuff. Same maker makes a paint of that type.
I think it's Loctite. I can't remember now. But yeah, you use this paint on there, and it gives it a nice, like almost stone grit feel to it. And then from there, you just kind of weather it up, watered down paint, age it up, make it look grimy.
Yeah. We have a hill that would be right for gravestones. We just haven't like timed it right to get them. Chicano Aztec is going in on the chat on the Halo remake and how it looks like ass. I have watched that trailer twice now. I'm very excited. Having played Halo from the very beginning, and the fact that it has 4-player co-op and it's going to be on PlayStation with that awesome DualSense controller. We're going to get there. Hang with us, Azteca. Go get your shot. We're going to end up talking about it. What is it? The 4th news story? Yes, 4th news story.
Yeah. We'll get there pretty
Halo is to be enjoyed across generations, and there's multiple ways to play it. More ways to play it than ever before. Officially, your PlayStation is an Xbox, right, Brant? If it wasn't already. It definitely
at this point, yeah.
As I look over at my copy of Gears of War for the PlayStation 5.
Just say, I think mine, yep.
My neighbor just said he got it. He's like, I got Gears of War for PS5. I'm like, we should play a couple levels of the campaign. He's like, I've never played the campaign together. I was like, what? Never played Gears co-op, man. That's the best way to play Gears. I would argue the best way to play Halo, too. And Halo 1 and Halo 3.
I'm about to say, if Cesar was here, he would. He's never finished it because of a
here we go. Azteca, it is not a Call of Duty wannabe. Look at the footage. The sprint doesn't actually seem to speed up anything. It's gonna be a good remake. I have high hopes for this one. Let's get into the first one. We talked about this in our chat on Discord. Cesar seems to have remembered them announcing something like this before, but I think this is their first official unveiling with like new branding and how you can play it and all that sorts of stuff. The AI Snoop Dogg, I'm not so sure about, because he was at the top of that news story that I sent you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, what is this guy doing up here? This comes from VideoGamesChronicle.com and Chris Scullion. Amazon's redesigned Luna launches with Game Night, its party library with a AI Snoop Dogg courtroom game. Wait, so is this like a Snoop Dogg Phoenix Wright? Is this the crossover we all...
It's not quite, but that would be an interesting crossover.
That would be a hell of a crossover. Would you play a Snoop Dogg Phoenix Wright game?
Probably.
With Martha Stewart unlockable DLC. Amazon has launched its redesigned Luna service, including its Game Night party selection. This includes the addition of Game Night. I didn't know what that was. A new selection of party games designed for casual players who can use their mobile phone as a controller with no app download needed. At launch, there are 29 games available on Game Night, including, we're not going to read these, but they include titles such as Angry Birds Flock Party, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The aforementioned...
Clue on there.
Clue is on there with Tim Curry. I don't know if Tim Curry is included. The aforementioned Courtroom Chaos starring Snoop Dogg, Exploding Kittens 2.
Exploding Kittens, yeah, that would
That's
be
a
good.
big one. Fibbage XL. Fibbage was a big one in Jackbox, right?
Yeah.
Up. There it is. But before that, we have Garfield Kart 2, All You Can Drift. But there's also the
Quiplash.
Jackbox Party Pack 9. Yeah, Quiplash is another big one from Jackbox. Snow Brothers Wonderland. I know Cesar's a big fan of the Snow Brothers titles. Tetris Effect Connected Party Edition. Interesting.
Huh.
Ticket to Ride, Ultimate Chicken Horse, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Those are just some of the 29 titles.
Many more.
Many more. Players with an active Amazon Prime subscription can access all these games as part of their membership with no extra purchase necessary. Game Night will also feature exclusive titles developed by Amazon Game Studios, the first of which is launch title Courtroom Chaos, starring Snoop Dogg. The game is described as, quote, a human-built, AI-powered improv courtroom game where players invent outrageous characters, spin wild stories, and do whatever it takes to defend their testimonies before Judge Snoop Dogg.
We see you, AI. The design is very human.
Oh, do we stream this nonsense?
Is this... we could always start on it, and then if it's
either
if
it's ass, we
it's
pivot
either
to something
terrible
else.
or trash, just get into something else.
What else do we have in there? It also allows you to play Luna games with your Amazon Prime subscription, and that library includes some other big hitters, including Alien Isolation, Borderlands 3, Devil May Cry 5, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, Hogwarts Legacy, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm assuming you have to have bought these, right? They're not just like a la carte streaming thing.
I don't know.
Available to stream.
Yeah, available to stream. So, I mean, I'm wondering if this is like you get these as a perk with
there's no way.
Your Amazon Plus, kind of like
you have Amazon Prime, right? Like everybody does.
I do.
There's no way Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is just playable on Luna. Have we been not paying attention to Amazon Luna and these good games are out there?
I don't know. I'm going to well, this is the rebrand too, so I really have to dig into this because I technically just had to get my own Amazon Prime since they
separated the household thing,
sharing subscription thing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's some big games in there. Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition, Top Spin 2K25, Middle Earth Shadow of War, Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hogwarts Legacy and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle are some recent big AAA titles. Maybe we try this out, right? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I need to dig in and see how that looks. Because most of the time, I know Luna does monthly games as well. A lot of times we don't cover that. But I know most of their games are given through, I believe, GOG. A lot of them are, or
a lot of them are GOG, and then there's one other platform that it ties them to, and I'm like, it's not. They're usually not Steam games.
Not Steam. It's not Epic. I can't remember the other freaking platform though.
Maybe,
but it is. It's.
I think it is Epic Game Store. A couple
you think it is Epic?
It redeems. Yeah, I think it redeems through there. Because I don't know any other. It's the Heroic Launcher is Epic Games and GOG, right? That you could do on the Steam Deck if you do the Heroic Launcher.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the two it redeems from. But it's usually GOG before anything else. I don't know. This PC has all the launchers on it from back in the day in the great launcher wars of 2017, 2018. You remember Rockstar Launcher? Like everybody had their own launcher?
Yep.
So,
it does say that this is a collection of games at no additional cost.
It says players can also pay extra for a Luna Premium subscription to gain access to a larger selection of titles, including games from EA and Ubisoft. That has to be the one with Indiana Jones, right?
I don't know. That's something, again, just have to look up. Because I've never dug into the Luna and Prime Gaming stuff, considering I was just on that shared account.
Yeah. Maybe we dive into that. We don't need the Luna controller, right? Even though I've heard it's a pretty solid controller. I could use my Stadia controller and try to that it might have been past the unlock phase where you could turn that into a regular Bluetooth controller. But I think you can pair anything up to an Amazon Fire Stick or whatever supports that Luna platform. They're sticking with it. Remember, they bought a bunch of game studios. We talked about it in some years past of sort of the gaming studio Amazon spree where they were also buying studios.
Yeah.
And this is what they had a Stranger Things game a couple years ago, and it was like, all right, is this all they're going to do with... No, that was Netflix games. I'm confusing the two. Yeah, that's Netflix games. So they've been going steady at this Luna stuff since the Stadia, right? It's kind of, they're the head streaming a la carte, all you can eat platform, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Aztec is still talking about Halo stuff in the chat, so I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well. What's his next story?
What's next story revolves around Kirby Air Riders. So there was
I did not watch this. Did you watch this one? This is the Sakurai Direct 2, Part 2.
I was about to say I watched clips. Sakurai had another Kirby Air Riders Direct, which lasted over 60 minutes, and I loved how people were saying the combined runtime of both Kirby Air Riders Directs were combined more or about the same as the Mario movie.
Oh my god. So people out there doing the Lord's work with figuring out how long these are.
So, I mean, Sakurai likes to go in depth into things and really like get into things and explain it and does a really good job of, you know, kind of explaining it on a level that most people can understand. Like, he's not going into crazy, you know, dev terms or coding terms or things like that. It's
approachable from a creator standpoint.
Yes, and he's extremely passionate about what he does. So if you want to watch that direct, definitely do it. He goes in a lot of different game modes and stuff. There's going to be pretty much a like an adventure mode of what basically amounts to a story mode, as well as all sorts of different things. More about the riders, more about the rides. And of course the amiibo.
That's all I wanted to know. Tell me about the riders and the rides.
He showed off more of the those amiibos, which are I think $50 a pop, and when you combine all of them together, it's like $250 worth of amiibo.
Seriously?
They're expensive as shit. But hey, you can take the figure off of the little ride or the rider off of the ride and swap them all around.
Take the rider off the ride. A ride denied.
Ride denied.
Bran, I think the rider is called the jockey.
So this article comes from Chris Golion, also VGC. This is about Sakurai basically saying that, hey, this is it. We don't this game is complete. So it talks about how, you know, with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, there was a load of downloadable content, 12 extra players, as well as all sorts of costumes and little things that they did with it. But with Kirby Air Riders, they aren't planning on doing that. It's standalone. He says it's a finished product. So he said, in this day and age, creating a game, bringing it to life takes a surprising amount of effort. But I think it's reflected in the final product. So I hope you enjoy it. I do believe the passionate support from fans as the bigger reason why this game was made. You have to spend time and money to make games, so those wishes aren't always granted. Knowing that, I'm grateful both for the support shown to the previous game and I'm thankful for that support.
Is that what he's talking about? Okay, wow. From 20 plus years ago?
And the efforts of great many people, we are able to make this game a reality. He said, just so you know, we are not planning any DLC. Everything is here. Also, I'm not planning on making this an ongoing series. I've thrown everything I have into this game from the start, so I hope you don't miss this opportunity.
The everything is here is a play on everyone is here. I got it. Yes. I got it. All right. It took me a minute.
And they also went on in the direct. There actually is going to be, which we all need to jump onto this because the snippets of like the actual gameplay and stuff I saw, this game looks good. It looks really, really good.
Absolutely need to play this tech test.
Honestly, it looks better than Mario Kart. They're actually doing a test ride, a global test ride will take place.
When's the last time you offered a test ride?
A test ride. November 8th and 9th, and also November 15th and 16th. These are, of course, before the release on November 20th.
2 weekends worth of test riding.
Test rides.
We could test ride together, all of us. Are we going to be able to stream that? Is this going to be one of their weird locks? I mean, if they're advertising it, it's not like it's going to be an NDA for this, right?
No, we should be able to stream that, no problem.
I hope so. This game has a camera support, right? We can see each other's faces flying around and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because Buish now has a camera, so we expect to see a Buish face when we play.
Have to see the Buish.
Kirby Air Riders. I need to go back and watch this whole thing. Everything is here. I like that. I like knowing I'm getting
everything is here.
The complete.
It's a nice change to go back to everything is here rather than hey, you get some of it now and 6 months down the road we release the other part.
They are also good at adding on after the fact, right? Like we've seen it with Donkey Kong, we've seen it with Kirby. We end up getting DLC to pad it out, and it's typically either inexpensive or free. Pikmin 4, I know it's not news, but Pikmin 4 is getting an update this fall with some added levels and like a new Pikmin type or something in there.
Yeah, and I think photo mode and some other stuff, but it's not a Switch 2 upgrade from what I've read.
No, it's not.
Just like an overall upgrade.
Yeah. Which behooves friend of the show, Mark's Knight, is a big Pikmin fan and has not yet picked up a Switch 2. So that will work for them and their household. Next up in news, Ubisoft is asking staff at the Division studio Massive Entertainment to volunteer to be laid off. I hadn't seen this news anywhere. This also comes from Chris Scollion of VGC.com. The Swedish developer, best known for Tom Clancy's The Division series, but most recently worked on Star Wars Outlaws, which now has a Switch 2 demo. And I have downloaded that to my Switch 2 and have not yet tried it. And Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is the latest Ubisoft studio to announce a change in structure. In a statement posted on its official X account, Massive stated that it planned to strengthen its focus on the Division series and the Snowdrop engine, and that as a result, it was reducing its numbers. So they are known for specifically the Division series, and I guess as of recent, they've just been a support studio for, or were they lead developer on Avatar, Lost Frontiers, and Star Wars Outlaws? That might have been their jam.
I think it was. I
think it was for some reason.
Yeah.
The studio is asking staff to volunteer for, quote, career transition, end quote, presumably in an attempt to identify who's willing to be laid off before it has to potentially start its own layoff procedure. That sucks.
Yeah, basically a nice way of saying, hey, go ahead and who's ready to leave? Because if you don't start leaving, we're just going to fire you.
There's a whole bunch of corporate speak in there. The announcement came just hours after another Ubisoft studio, Red Lynx, announced it was set to start making layoffs. The Finland-based studio, which is best known for the Trials series of motorbike-based platformers, announced a restructuring proposal that would see it changing its focus from a multi-format developer to one, quote, specialized in small screens. I don't know if I have heard of Ubisoft Red Links. I've heard of the Trial series. That was like one of the early Xbox Live minis or whatever they called those hits. Mm-hmm. Trials Fusion and all that. Statement says the Ubisoft Red Links will negotiate the proposal with its staff in collective negotiations before making a decision, and if the proposal goes through, it will, quote, result in the reduction of maximum 60 positions. Ubisoft's Tencent-backed subsidiary Vantage Studios officially started this month. The new subsidiary oversees Ubisoft's three biggest IPs, Assassin's Creed, who we talked about last week, lost their, creative lead, creative director from the past 15 years or so. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. And while it remained part of the Ubisoft group, it will have full autonomy on each franchise's creative direction and business plan. This does not sound good. And for all that we've seen in like sales and news reporting and stuff, the Avatar game and Star Wars Outlaws were successes. Is this another case actually? Cesar always likes to mention Square Enix mishandling like Sleeping Dogs and Tomb Raider and saying they didn't meet expectations despite selling like 10 million copies a piece and some crazy. Like, come on, what are they supposed to do here?
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of layoffs in the gaming industry this past year, and it recently just came out too that I don't know if you saw, it was I think an article that came across Bloomberg kind of explaining why we've seen such a shift in Xbox as far as like the layoffs and the dramatic price increasing across the board, where I'm trying to see, the chief financial officer, Amy Hood, implemented a strict new financial goal out of Xbox, which was they expected them to achieve a 30% accountability margin, which is basically what they just call a profit margin, which typically is a very dramatic increase because it says that the average profit margin typically ranges between 17 to 22%. According to the S&P Global Market, Xbox itself has operated within margins between 10 and 20% over the last 6 years, specifically pointing out like the court documents from the whole Activision deal that we saw, where they showed a 12% margin in the fiscal year of 2022. So that's to get up to 30. We've seen all the stuff they've done. I mean, they've laid off a lot, and not just in gaming, but all across Microsoft. And they, cut studios, canceled projects, raised pricing across the board. And hell, leads it into our next story. Bring
what is
their
it,
IP
Brant?
To new platforms.
What is it, Brant?
Which Sarah Bond even said, we've seen the market shift, and we've seen players shift, and this console exclusivity is a thing of the past.
Brant, today I went on my PlayStation app and I wish listed a brand new title coming to my PlayStation 5 next year.
What title? What kind of new title are you getting on the PS5?
A new Infamous title.
Infamous?
I'm sorry, a new game in the Resistance series coming to the PlayStation 5. Or would you rather it be a new Killzone title?
Oh.
What would be more outlandish than any of those Sony properties?
Gears of War.
Oh, we already got that. Did we know this was coming?
Got that.
Yeah, was this announced we knew
this was probably one of the worst kept secrets.
It was just the timing of the unveiling, right? Yeah, because we were thinking it was going to be at the Halo Championships. This was just out of the blue, right? This
was.
wasn't tied to anything.
I mean, I think it is in part with those Halo championships.
Okay. The title, of course, is called, officially now, we know, Halo Campaign Evolved. Are we okay with the title?
Well, I guess when you don't include multiplayer,
you're out front saying what this thing is.
Yeah. Have to say campaign.
This article you linked, Brant, comes from VGC, but I think we can kind of speak on this on our own. This is a full 4K redone Unreal Engine game from the new Halo Studios. Yep. And of course, the big news, we handed around it a little bit. It's going to come to Xbox Series consoles, PC and Steam, and PlayStation 5 next year, 2026.
And more than likely Switch 2
that would be awesome.
Sometime after the PS5 and Xbox release.
That would be awesome. Cesar would like to know, quote, in the library specifically, which features several flood encounters, we wanted to reevaluate the pacing and enhance the environmental storytelling. We've added new lines to Guilty Spark, which guide players through the level, and there's new dialogue that gives more insight into the narrative as it plays out.
No, leave it. The library is perfect. Everybody loves the library.
Sorry that they messed up the library. If he was on the show with us tonight, he would be ranting and raving about how that is one of the most perfect levels in video game history and should not be changed in any capacity. Of course, that is it's like a skin swap backwards. It sucks. If you're playing the original Halo campaign, the library is just not
It's
fun.
A slog.
It is. The flood is fully coming after you. The fucking sentinel beams are all over you. It's the actual Covenant is still fighting you. It's the whole world against you as Guilty Spark just goes off in your ear. So hopefully that new dialogue adds to that, as they're saying with the narrative. They also revealed a 13-minute gameplay footage montage of the Silent Cartographer level. I've watched that twice now.
Very familiar with that.
That is one of the best levels in any video game ever. And
it's a great opening, man.
God, they seem to have nailed it just for me watching the footage. I wasn't playing, obviously. I don't know how it feels. I don't know how good it's going to feel firing off shots with the needle or with the DualSense, but I can only imagine it's going to be fantastic. There's some changes, right? Like the layout, the terrain and stuff. That's kind of the first thing I noticed is that, with the original Xbox and then, so that's 2001. And then the game was remade for its 10th anniversary by 343. So they've kind of used, and it's easy to say they're just remaking the same Halo game, right? Nintendo has famously done this for a long time. They would remake a Zelda story in a new engine, or Star Fox. Like Star Fox, Super Nintendo, and 64 are the same story. It's just it's a next generation above, right? And
PlayStation can't stop remaking The Last of Us.
Yeah, no kidding. Catching flack for it, and they still sell the shit out of them. So I don't want to hear it from anybody else. But it's a different reimagining. Like I still heard Cortana. It was like the same voice lines and stuff, but the terrain, like kind of how you went over that beachhead on Silent Cartographer and went towards where Foehammer would come in and drop the Warthog. You had different like hills and choke points for the Covenant, and even a point after the Warthog dropped. Did you watch this gameplay trailer, Brant?
I did.
You did? I've played this level so many fucking times.
Yeah.
There's a point where they were driving the Warthog and they were in this real narrow, in between like the two rocks. They were in like this valley, and that was not in the original or that remake. But it seems like they're getting their feet wet with Unreal Engine. They've tossed, was it Slipstream or Slip Space or something from Halo Infinite? They've tossed that. They're done with the 18-month contractor cycles, and we're hopefully past this nightmare of what Halo was trying to be and becoming. And there was some good in that. It wasn't a complete misstep. We have hundreds of hours in Halo Infinite, so
easily,
yeah. So it wasn't a complete, misstep and all that sort of stuff. But this seems like a good way to get this new studio's feet wet and get them going with.
They did say there was like some additional content and stuff that they were adding to this, wasn't there?
3
Some like
prequel
exclusive
levels.
content.
Yeah, 3 prequel levels leading up to this point in the game with Johnson and Master Chief. Which
So,
Fall of Reach is right before this game. Like Reach leads directly into this, so I'm not sure what that'll consist of.
My only thing was watching this. I noticed some weird like texture and shadowing pop in just within that little cutscene and stuff, and I was like, "What's going on there?" And I had to like rewind it because it's like, did I blink or did I actually notice something there?
Yeah,
and I did. It was, and I don't know if that's maybe this isn't just an early first look build that we're seeing.
That's what it says. There's a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen when you're watching all that.
And there's sometime next year, right? Is basically what they're saying. They haven't hammered down a date. So, I mean, this is the starting point. It's probably only going to look better from this as we continue to get more updates.
If you look at that scene where the Warthog gets dropped in and the Marines are like running across the beach, it almost looks like they're wearing like robes or something. It's like the shadows are just, they're moving with them. They look like those people from Kingdom Hearts. They're just like drifting across the sand. I'm like, what is happening here? They don't have legs or anything. It's the weird shadows and stuff. But then the part where Master Chief is going inside some of the Forerunner constructs and stuff, like trying to get to the control room in that silent cartographer level, and you're watching like the glow of the plasma pistol in the dark, like shooting up against the elites, and the elites are kind of darting around in the background with the lights glowing and stuff. Just imagine that in HDR, how that's going to look with these current gen consoles. And I can't wait for that. And 4-player co-op. 4-player co-op has never been available in Halo Combat Evolved in any capacity. The remake, the original, Steam, nothing. So this is going to be the first time we can play this 4-player, and all the hijinks and chaos that's going to add to it with a full squad and a Warthog, or pushing the control room, or any of the other iconic levels. The mall. Cesar finally going to beat Halo, the original Halo game.
Oh my god! Are there gonna be 2 Warthogs, or are we all gonna be crammed into one Warthog for that final run?
Yeah, because you had they said gameplay changes, so I'm assuming 4 people can jump into that. You don't know? You saw in the gameplay demo, one of the elites jumped in there and like grabbed the Marine out and threw him out of the Warthog and jumped in the passenger side up there. So there's going to be some balancing and changes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with those. It seems faithful enough. And again, you don't want it to. If this thing's god awful, there's 2 other versions. A lot of people didn't like the remake and said it kind of took away from the first Halo game's a horror game. When you discover the Flood and they're crazy looking and it's all dark and purplish, and they changed the tone in that 2011 anniversary remake. They did. Some people liked that. Some people didn't. They were both available. You can switch back and forth between the graphics, and those other games are still going to be available on Steam and Xbox, not on PlayStation yet. Time will tell. Master Chief Collection might come to PlayStation. Then you'll have access to those same titles. But
and
looks good.
To me, it sucks that the multiplayer is not going to be there. I mean, they have the multiplayer aspect where you can co-op with friends, so maybe that'll be fun. But I mean, nothing to knock against that. But I mean, everybody remembers their first time playing like Capture the Flag or Team Deathmatch on like Blood Gulch and everything on the original Halo.
I wonder if they add that, because remember, Halo multiplayer was added at the absolute last minute. It's something they developed and shipped.
The whole thing with this being the worst kept secret was that there was supposed to be this remake as well as another game, which was supposed to be kind of like the Halo answer to Fortnite, like some big Halo Battle Royale
VR thing
style. Yeah.
So hear me out on this, because I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute. That first Halo multiplayer was split screen only, or LAN, like you could link a bunch of Xboxes together, which we have in the past. That's kind of the foundations of the show, is getting together and talking shit and laughing and playing games via Halo LAN party. But there was no customization. So you picked a map and you got whatever weapons were on it. You got whatever mode it was. Like there was no, you didn't get to pick all these different modes, and you didn't have unlockables and collectibles and things like that. It was extremely bare bones, but it was good. It was pure, and it was its own thing. Is that something they could manage to ship alongside of this and not call it, that's not a multiplayer game in this day and age, right? It doesn't have those. It doesn't have leveling up. It doesn't have customization. It doesn't have skins. It doesn't have what you would call a multiplayer game in the year of our Lord 2025, right? But could they ship a very simple, fun, concise online mode like that with, it's called Campaign Evolved. I know I'm throwing this out there, you know. It wasn't supposed to be in the first game. It almost seems like it would be fitting and true to the franchise that we got this very simple, hey, you can only play this split screen, or you can only play this online in a party or something like that, where it's a very tailored experience, just like that first one was. Yes, that's not going to fly as its own standalone thing these days. It's not. People expect more from a multiplayer game. But in honoring the roots of the franchise, you just have this one thing with Hang 'em High and Rat Race, or what was the Wizard. Like you have these certain maps and you have these modes, and that's it. Yeah, Chillron, bring that PC one over that we've enjoyed so much from MCC. But it was there's something to be said for that simplicity, right? And not having all the stupid cosmetics and skins and shit.
My only thing is it's still 343 now Halo Studios. They make a decent game, but every single Halo game that they've put out, it has taken some time to get it right. At launch, it is not from launch to, you know, a year or two out. Those are not the same product, because it winds up getting actually updated and polished. So I'm kind of hoping they let this one bake and don't have those launch issues that they usually have.
Just nail the campaign in this new engine and let us have fun with co-op and getting to know that story and stuff. Hopefully it's successful and leads to, you know, a Halo 2 in Unreal Engine and a Halo 3 eventually. We never got Halo 3 anniversary. We're all hoping for that for a long time.
Yeah.
The 20th anniversary of Halo 3 is in 2007. So maybe every year, maybe they nail that engine and they're able to do this every year. That'd be cool. Leading up to 2007.
2027?
2027. Yeah, not 2007. That was the original. That was the original year. That was the launch year for Halo 3.
Yes, I was going to say, hold on, no.
We're not going back in time.
Take me back. Take me back farther.
You want to be in 2007?
I'll go back even farther.
2007 was a tumultuous year for me. I'm not sure I'm jumping straight back in. No, if I'm jumping straight into 2007.
I'll go 1997.
Yeah, I'm good with that probably. I think I'm down with 97. Brent, you'll be in diapers still. So you want to go back to diapers? I wipe my own ass. Sure. Baby Brent diapers. We'd be buying sealed copies of Panzer Dragoon Saga. One of Cesar's favorite long running jokes.
The night.
Yeah, we don't have to go to yard sales or anything. Sealed copies of Symphony of the Night.
Yep. We're
getting them straight from Toys R Us and KB Toys. All the extinct retailers that no longer exist.
Give me that Sega Saturn nobody wants.
Mm-hmm. Or I watched Gaming Historian on YouTube talking about the 32X. I didn't realize that got down to $19.99. You could get a Sega 32X in the box for $20.
I did not know that.
It launched at $169. Nice. and then I think it was $129, and then $99, then $49.99, and then $19.99 at the very end.
Damn.
And that was a hell of a piece of hardware. They were going over some of the specs and things like that. If one of Sega of America or Sega of Japan had stuck with that as a platform instead of veering off into Sega Saturn and all these other offshoots and stuff, that would have been a hell of a machine. It was a beast. But then this was a good video. I need to watch more of that Gaming Historian channel. They were also noting it was out up against Donkey Kong Country, and Donkey Kong Country was fucking gorgeous and
amazing,
slaying the visuals and audio of anything else. Oh yeah, you did. That's how they advertised it. It's like, look, you don't need an add-on; it's just in the cartridge, and they had a bundle with it in there.
The cartridge is it's a little bit more expensive, but hey, look at this game,
Or you could get the Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo Super Set with 2 controllers and a copy of the cartridge. It's just Nintendo marketing then was crazy. Did you see that video Cesar sent out with the it was the Yoshi's Island commercial? Have you ever seen that?
I hadn't seen that.
It's crazy. This is from the Play It Loud Nintendo marketing era. It's a guy at a buffet, and in between him like stuffing his face and eating more and more and more, it's just clips from Yoshi's Island. And then that big like inflatable character, the one that kind of looks like a clown and has got the suit on and all that, like it's a Mode 7 sprite in Yoshi's Island. Mm-hmm. It explodes and the guy explodes and like food comes bursting out of him and rains all over everybody and stuff. And it's bizarre. Straight from that Play It Loud marketing. But I was like, I've never seen this before. It's disgusting. It's all for Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. Last but not least in news, this is from VGC.com, but we do not have to go over this. Kind of a stealth announcement last night. Luigi's Mansion is coming to the Nintendo Classic service on October 30th. Brant, there's your spooky game. This is coming to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus service, which allows GameCube games to be played back on a Switch 2. Chris Collion also notes that now all 3 Luigi's Mansion games are playable on a single console for the first time. The GameCube original, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which is a Switch remaster of the 3DS title, and Switch title Luigi's Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion is the 6th title to be added to the Switch 2's library of GameCube games, joining F-Zero GX, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, Super Mario Strikers, which we had a lot of fun with, and Chibi Robo. Is that all the announced ones? Do we know everything that's been... Oh, no, here they are. They've already confirmed GameCube games coming in the future include Super Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and Pokemon Coliseum. However, no dates have been given for these games. I do want to note, too, because if you're a Nintendo Online member, you can buy the controllers that are compatible with this playback. And apparently, because they had sales limitations on them, I think you could buy, like 2 to 4, depending on the system of these controllers. And they're very expensive, because I looked at it when I read this news. I was like, let me see, do I buy another 64 controller? Do I get another GameCube controller? They apparently did an update on their site, which removed that limitation, and if you had already reached that limit or not. So if you're interested in any more of those controllers, I think I've gotten one of each over the years. I've gotten the Genesis one and the NES. I think the NES and Super Nintendo were 2 packs apiece, right? Or maybe just the NES one was 2 controllers.
I believe they were both 2.
Okay, I think so too. The NES one's clipped onto the Switch on the side.
Yeah, and I think so did the Super Nintendo.
The Super Nintendo one did too.
Yeah, I want to say they stopped that with, of course, once they got to N64.
Yeah, but there's a Genesis one, which is the 3-button controller, if I remember right. Famously, people were like, "Not this one," which I have more nostalgia for the 3-button controller, so I was good with that. But there's other makers out there, like 8BitDo has the TurboGrafx one. You can sync up to it, and they also made a... What is that? The Neo Geo. It's got like the clicky stick on it. That'll sync up with the Switch. You can play Metal Slug games and stuff with that. So
okay, I was wrong on both accounts.
Super Nintendo was one controller and did not clip on the side.
Clip on. Yeah.
Yep, I think I would have gotten that one wrong as well. I don't think I remembered that either. Because why just one of those?
$35
for one Super Nintendo controller?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good ass controller, but I mean that's a third of the price of what the Super Nintendo Mini was, right? And you got that console, all the games, and 2 controllers. Again, value as you see fit for how to vote with your wallet, as Cesar would say.
Yeah, I guess I can throw one more news article in the stack here since we went through really quick.
Go for it.
Fallout 4 is getting an anniversary edition.
Saw that.
The 10-year-old RPG. The anniversary edition will be complete with its 6 official add-ons, in addition to over 150 pieces of Creation Club game mods. The anniversary introduces a new game creations menu, easier to discover and download content. The anniversary will be available digitally on your Xbox Series systems, Xbox One, PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 on November 10th, and is coming to Nintendo Switch in 2026.
Good addition to the Switch 2 library. I can't believe that game's 10 years old already. That's shocking to me.
I know. I was thinking back. I'm like, no, that's right. It is about 10 years, and they do talk about how it's about to get that Fallout crossover with the TV show.
Because the season 2 of the TV show is in New Vegas,
comes out in December. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. That was a good ass TV show.
I heard it was good, and even people that don't like or have never played the Fallout video games enjoyed the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of the show, Mark's Knight, was a big fan, and I know he's never played a Fallout game. That will be cool. It seems like they're doing that with that era of their catalog, right? Where we got Oblivion remastered already. We've gotten Skyrim 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, all the Bethesda releases are, even if they do them physically now, they're a coaster basically. So
yep,
we're learning. Yeah, we've learned that.
It was confirmed there was like barely any data on that Oblivion disc, right? Totally.
Yeah. Thinking about just going ahead and canceling that now. So
yeah, I think I would. Your access to it is through Game Pass for as long as we keep playing the Game Pass or PC Game Pass, which is I was playing it on my ROG Ally, so I could go to the bottom tier at that point.
$14.
No new update on the Game Pass stuff. I'm kind of waiting for them to pivot from it. I'm waiting to. That was a huge blowback, and everybody I know that was a Game Pass subscriber has agreed to either cancel or wind down their subscription.
Yeah.
Nobody's sticking with that. Weesh is looking for exits on Steam, and friend of the show, Mark's Knight, is moving stuff to PlayStation. He's like, I only play Helldivers, and what was his other one? Battlefield anyway, so I've got those on PlayStation. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah.
Cesar mentioned either last week or a couple weeks ago that Master Chief Collection doesn't play friendly with Steam Deck. I've been reading to the contrary, that there was an update that you can run that is like a confirmed, hey, I'm on Steam Deck. It's the anti-cheat is going to be off, but it's like it knows it's a Linux machine or it knows it's on Steam Deck or something, and you will not get the crazy bans that we had talked about and read about even just a few years ago. So it might be worth some investigating, but we still have access to Old Man Halo is what my determination was.
Yeah. It'll be worth some digging into and a little bit of research, and then just try it out.
Test it. Yeah, I'm willing to test also. We're not competitive.
Worst case scenario, gotta turn the Xbox back on.
Yeah. We're not competitive Halo players. They're not going to ban us for being in there on we only play the social playlist anyways. It's like, what are we trying to prove?
Yeah.
Going 5-12 in a social game on on
Right.
flamethrowers or something. But that'd be awesome knowing we have access to that. I actually, I guess we'll go into games played. I was tinkering around earlier this week as we've talked about doing stuff like that, and fired up. So I have, let me unplug it real quick. You can't use this wirelessly on the Xbox One or Series or any of that. And I've got these like covers on there. They're not normally white on the sticks. But I bought that Hyperkin, they call it the Duchess wired controller. And I had only ever really used it on my Series console, but I'm like, this is a PC controller. So I actually had Master Chief Collection downloaded on this PC, and I fired up Halo 3 this is an ultra wide monitor, and I fired that up with this like original Xbox controller, and it felt good, man. It was Halo. We don't need an Xbox for Halo anymore, and they're making it, even since I messed around with that. Microsoft's making that more and more evident. What else did I mess around with? I picked up Battlefield 6 last weekend. I did actually bite the bullet. I had some credits.
I've been thinking about it.
I had some credit at Target, and I did not want to get this game physically, but my lowest barrier of entry was Target for $52. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this. So it was earlier this past week. I played a couple rounds with friend of the show, Mark's Knight. As you know, he is all in on some Battlefield. And it was good. I had a lot of fun with I haven't touched the campaign or anything, but the multiplayer was a lot of fun. It was very similar to what we played in the beta. As a matter of fact, I played only the maps we played in the beta, and I was kind of like, hey, what gives? I paid for this, and I'm playing what I was playing for free back a month ago. Yeah, same experience, except I'm out $52.
Which is crazy, because I already saw within, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 days, people were doing crazy stuff with the map there's some kind of map creation, and they were remaking
like a Forge
Call of
mode on
Duty.
that one. Yeah,
they were remaking Call of Duty maps like Shipment.
That's the one I saw too. Yep.
They
looked at that
remade the map Rust from was that Modern Warfare 2 or 3? I saw a version of Nuketown on there, and people were making and just some crazy stuff too. But
they're coming.
I wonder if that's like you have to get into like a custom game or something on those, or
I'll look. Next time I'm in there, I'll take a look at it.
Because y'all probably just did like the regular what is it, like Domination?
I was just thinking of it too. Conquest,
there we go.
Yep, we just did Conquest a couple times. I think we won one and lost one, which when we played the beta, didn't we lose like the first 10 or 12 we played? It's like we never won.
Yeah.
We never won a round. But it's good. He enjoys that. So we had a good time squadding up together with 2 randos and trying to take points and just getting in those Battlefield push-pulls of trying to take different zones and people coordinating against us better than we coordinated against them, essentially. But we had a good time with it. I feel like I've played something else and it's not coming to me. Oh, I played some more Final Fantasy X last weekend. I was on the Mihin High Road, which is headed to Operation Mihin, which is like the Crusaders' big push to try to defeat Sin. And that does not go well. Spoilers for the story of the 24-year-old Final Fantasy X. And essentially, Sin, who is a giant whale thing that kills people, Sir Oron has told the young hero Titus that that's his father, Jecht. So he's trying to figure out why Sin is his dad, Jecht, and now Oron has told him that Jecht is going to try to find him and kill people so that Titus will kill him. So we're in this crazy cycle here. But there was a lot of story with it, and why does the suffering have to continue? And despite, it sounds horrible, right? I'm describing these. There's still some real upbeat themes and a lot of character building, and the character interactions is just real good, and their backstories, and I'm loving it. The music's awesome. I'm at a point, I'm right after that, and I'm headed out somewhere. I guess the main point to cover is Final Fantasy X, older Final Fantasy games, as you leveled up, you just automatically got abilities. Like you would get Fire and Blizzard, and then Fyra and Blizzara, and then Bliraga. Like you would level them up, right?
Yep.
So in Final Fantasy X, when you fight battles, you get spheres to use on the sphere grid, which levels up your character, which gives you customization because you can pick certain things and you can steer
like a
characters.
Skill tree on a deal.
It is. So like my Kimari, I didn't plan for this. My Kimari, who is like a Ronso, he's a physical attack user, but somehow he's steered off into the magic part of the sphere grid. So I have him casting fire and water attacks and things like that. But you get these different types of sphere grids that you spheres in with experience in battle that you plug into the sphere grid. There's mana spheres, power spheres. There's one more, and there's ability spheres. So the ability spheres are the ones that do teach you things like that. Or like Yuna is a white mage, so she'll learn things like life, and Isuna, which takes away life is a phoenix down. It brings back characters. Isuna heals, like if they have sleep or stone or something like that. If they have an effect on them, it'll clear that. So I have run out of ability spheres, and my people are stuck where they are on the sphere grid because I don't want to bypass that ability because then they won't have that. And I feel like as I'm going through the sphere grid, I need to unlock those. So right after this Mian High Road and this Mian operation, there's a place you can grind, and there's certain enemies that will drop these ability spheres, and I need these badly. And the enemy is a basilisk, and I get the basilisk maybe like one out every 6 or 7 battles that I'll randomly get one. I'm just like, oh. I have so much gil too from these random battles. It's like, just let me buy some of these ability spheres so I can move these people up. But in this game, and I was telling Mark's Knight this because I went from this to playing Battlefield with him. Because he's like, "Where are you at?" I could hear him in the headset. And I was like, "I'm grinding on 10. Hold on." And I'm near a save space. So I'm just walking around until I get in a battle. It's random encounters. It's 2001. This is how we played RPGs. And I'll fight the thing or try to get the basilisk, and then I'll save. And the save spaces also heal you, so that helps out if I have like a character that's asleep or stone or something like that. And I was like, I'm grinding on Final Fantasy X, and I was telling them like how the sphere grid works, and I'm out of ability spheres, and I gotta keep moving these people through the sphere grid to get to better attacks and higher MP, and like the different spheres will give you increase in health or increase in casting ability, or there's all these perks, and it's a lot of fun because you'll forget about it and you'll kind of plateau on abilities and bosses that you fight. It's like, ooh, that was kind of dicey. And you're like, okay, I got 10 levels to spend in the sphere grid, and you can go in there and use some of those spheres and move your character up along. Man, I feel like I played something else, but I think that's it. I've just been reading about a lot of video games, I guess, and that big Halo news this week. I don't have any new games acquired, I don't think, to show. I just picked this up from Walmart. This was like $9 at Walmart. This is from the Jack's Pacific. It's like the world. I wanted to say it was World of Nintendo, but I think it's called something else. And it's a 2.5-inch Samus and 2 like rubbery Metroids that come with it. Well, Brant, when I ordered it, I thought it was like a full-size figure, but as you could tell, like my hand's next to it.
Yeah.
For the audio listeners, my hand's next to it. It's like itty bitty Samus and like 2 little pocket Metroids, I guess is what you would call them. Do you have these same things? These guys are tiny.
It looks like it might be like a little bit bigger than the amiibo. Samus amiibo.
Maybe.
Like a hair bigger.
Possibly. And there's these like little plastic, now that I'm looking down in the packaging, there's like these little plastic pedestals for the Metroids. I guess you can like set them up next to Samus where they're just floating right there. But this stuff's cool. Like I remember an age of them not having a lot of Nintendo action figures and stuff. Like I felt like I had missed it. There was a lot during the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and like early 64. And then it feels like for 10 or 15 years, Nintendo just wasn't cool. And now to see stuff like that, I've got a Link one and a Zelda one from the Breath of the Wild series. I try to grab these type things when I see them if they're not too expensive. And it's very amiibo-esque, like Brant was saying. I don't think the Metroid doesn't look as good as the You know that amiibo where the Metroid's busting out of that the storage tank, like
I wish I would have gotten that
from the beginning. I have it, and I opened it. And I was like, I'm gonna open all these, and I have that one from. I think that's when Samus Returns came out.
That's the Samus Returns, yeah.
Yeah,
amiibo.
But it's super cool. I had it on top of my TV when I was playing Metroid games not too long ago, and but they look about amiibo quality, maybe just a little bit smaller. But all three for $10 instead of amiibos have gotten like worse and worse and worse. They're getting they're getting crazy expensive. They were $10 impulse buy level, and now they're
$30-$40
$250 to get all the Kirby Air Rider stuff.
The Kirby ones are expensive. They're $50 a pop.
Whew.
$50 a pop.
Oof, madness. $50 amiibo. Never thought I'd see the day. We didn't play anything. We didn't get anything last Saturday, did we?
No,
everybody was busy.
Yeah, let's say. I know Buish was indisposed. You were indisposed, and
I think
I don't think Cesar ever said anything.
I think we should be good this Saturday. I don't know what we're gonna get into just yet, but I think we're gonna be good. Good this weekend to try out at least get into some sort of PC madness, maybe. If nothing on the console, I would love to play that Repo game again. That was a lot of fun. And we've picked up a couple. We picked up a couple multiplayer titles since then, so it should be something pretty easy to stream. But we'll try to get back to something tomorrow. But that's it for me, Brant. I'll hand it over to you, sir.
I guess I'll start off with my game acquired, which is the Tomb Raider remaster.
Yeah, look at that.
Of 4, 5, and 6, which is technically Tomb Raider: The Last Revelations, Chronicles, and the Angel of Darkness.
I forgot that was the included one. That's crazy. It's good to see that game come forward after so long. And didn't they touch up some of the levels and stuff? Didn't they complete some of the mechanics? Maybe.
Yeah,
Brant, where did you find that title? Turns out I only have 1, 2, and 3 remastered for PS5.
Well, one of them came in from limited run, but the funny thing is like there's no limited run branding at all on this.
Really?
So
it's always like on the back of the packaging, right? Or the sticker on the front. Nothing on here. Wow.
Which is surprising, and I don't even remember ordering this from limited run, but it did come limited run. But this is the deluxe edition, which actually came via Amazon.
Excellent.
And came with some extra goodies, including like a book, a steel book that actually has like the greatest hits CD in there. And then
that was some good music. It was always good atmospheric music on those Tomb Raider games.
And then as far as games played, I'm still playing through Pokemon ZA. Going through and finding specific Pokemon that I like want and training them up. So far the story's pretty good. Like you kind of just arrive to the town and get recruited to become a part of this team.
It's like a Paris, right? Like a fictional Paris, like a City of Light type thing.
It's called Lumiose, but it's based on Paris. Complete with a Eiffel Tower-esque tower in the middle. But you get wrangled into participating in this competition. In order to rise through the ranks, you start at rank Z, and you're supposed to rise all the way to rank A. And also you're trying to help. There's Pokemon that are experiencing random mega evolution. So you're trying to help solve the mystery of why they're doing this, and also trying to help the Pokemon out, it's just a story plot that helps you get different mega evolutions, which the mega evolutions they introduced in X and Y, which is a interesting mechanic. It's like say you have it's only certain Pokemon, but like
they don't all have mega evolutions.
No, but like Charizard has two different forms. But Gyarados has a form, and so the Pokemon it gets stronger, and it also sometimes takes on like a different attribute. So, but it's I talked a little bit last week about how the battles, rather than being like the regular like one-on-one, where your Pokemon just stands right in front of the other Pokemon and they just attack each other. You can, in the previous Legend game, Legends Arceus, like you could walk around while the battle was happening. In this one, you can still do that, but like you can also move your Pokemon. Your Pokemon like will follow you, so that way you can like kite it and guide it out of certain areas or attacks.
I've seen clips of people doing this and like flying it into an opponent and stuff.
There's also there's also a mechanic to where when you go into these areas, because like all the competition takes place at night, and then it'll say battle area set up, and it highlights an area in red, and you go. There's opponents walking around and looking, and you can basically just be a horrible person and crouch and sneak up on your opponent and like throw a Pokemon out and target their Pokemon and attack them from behind and get the advantage.
Oh shit.
And of course it's a mechanic, you might as well do it. It just helps you.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, if you were
in the game, go for it.
If this was an actual like competition thing, how mad would you be if somebody just like came up behind you, killed your first Pokemon, and they're like, "Yep, okay, we're battling now." It's like, no, you're an ass. But you just attack me out of nowhere. That's not how this goes.
Yeah. Back attack Pokemon.
But it's fun. It's really, really fun. It's cool exploring all these things. There's also like
because it's more open worldish, right?
Yeah, it's once you are able to kind of get out and explore, there's a bit of the game where it keeps like, hey, come over here and let me explain this part to you. Hey, come over here, I need to explain this
type stuff. Yeah.
But once it opens up and you're able to kind of just go around the city, it's really fun, and you're able to like get up onto buildings and get around and explore these different areas. There's different areas set up, they called wild zones, that actually have different Pokemon in them. And as you progress through the stories, different wild zones get set up, which means you have different Pokemon appearing.
Like the Safari Zone in the first one?
Kind of, but this is a whole thing where like they're setting up the town for people and Pokemon to like coexist together, and
okay.
So
Sanctuary.
Yeah, and there's every now and then you run into these what they call like alpha Pokemon, where they're you'll know when you run into one because they're much larger than the other ones around, and their eyes are just giant red eyes, and they're a lot stronger. So sometimes it's a fun challenge to run up on one and try to take it down and capture it. That way you have a Pokemon that's a little bit stronger, and other times you run up to one and you see its level and it attacks one of your Pokemon and just immediately demolishes it. You're like, oh shit, no,
I'm sorry, I'll get out of here. Go about your business.
Still having a lot of fun with that.
You playing that mostly handheld or docked?
Mostly docked.
Okay.
It
looks
runs,
good. I know it looks good docked.
Let's say I played some handheld over the weekend too. Took it with me. And I mean, this game just looks and runs really, really well on the Switch too. It's a good looking game, and there's a lot of hate going around for the game because of like certain textures and things, like the size of buildings looking just like the windows and fixtures and stuff are drawn on and whatnot. But I
Final
look at
Fantasy
that.
VII
and,
remake door again. There's Spider-Man Puddle Gate.
Yeah. But I look at that and I'm like, the game's not about this texture. The game's not about, that puddle or, I'm like, this game is just, it's fun. It's fun. It's probably one of the best Pokemon games I've ever played in the entire generations. It's a really, really fun game. I love it.
High praise.
So, and my son has gotten a little bit farther than me, and thankfully he hasn't spoiled anything, but he's like, yeah, the story's actually getting really good. It's kind of out there. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. So,
sounds promising.
But other than that, I've been preoccupied with Halloween decorations. So,
'tis the season.
Yep.
Go get your clearance ones before they're gone. Before your crewmate barters with a retail employee, gets it down to half price. Yeah. All right, is that it for you,
That's
sir?
It for me.
Yeah, short and sweet.
That's it, man.
Anything else you want to throw in there for this week's 371st iteration of the NOFODcast? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.